അറിവിൻ വർണ്ണങ്ങൾ പൂത്തുലഞ്ഞിടും അക്ഷരത്തിങ്കൾ ഇതൾ വിടർത്തുന്ന അറിവിൻ ലോകമെൻ കലാലയം കഥയുണരും കവിത പാടുമീ സൗഹൃദ സാഫല്യം സായുജ്യമാക്കുന്ന സംഗമവേദിയാം കേളീലയം ദൈവതുല്യരാം ഗുരുക്കരോടൊപ്പം നിറവാർന്ന സ്വപ്നങ്ങൾ പേറിനാം വന്നാപലോകത്തിനുയരെ പറക്കുവാൻ ചിറകു വിരിക്കാൻ പഠിച്ചു. ഏറെ വിശാലമി ഭൂവിൻ മടിത്തട്ടിൽ വിദ്യ ജ്യോതി തെളിയുമീ കലാശാല അക്ഷരച്ചിപ്പായി കിനിയുന്നു നന്മയും ഓർമ്മ പേരൂമി കലാശാല തന്നിൽ പ്രതിഭകൾ ഉയർത്തെണീക്കുന്നു. അറിവിൻ മാധുര്യമുള്ളിൽ വിടർത്തിയ പുതുതളിർനാമ്പുകൾ നെല്ലെ മുട്ടിട്ടുപോൽ നന്മയേകൂമി കലാലയമെപ്പോഴും നന്മതൻ ശോഭകളേകുന്നു നിത്യവും. നന്മയേകൂമി കലാലയമെപ്പോഴും നന്മതൻ ശോഭകളേകുന്നു നിത്യവും.
Now I invite Srimati Binitia, Webinar Coordinator and Assistant Professor of Social Science for the welcome speech.
A very good morning to all. Today we are gathered in this platform to celebrate Women's Day with a national webinar about women, education and empowerment. Empowering women in India is very necessary to bring gender equality, or we can say that gender equality is very necessary to empower women. As we all know how important women are, they play various roles, which could be a caring mother, a daughter, and so on. Every woman deserves to shine, and equal opportunity should be given to a woman as it's given to a man. The duty entrusted me is to welcome the great personalities gathered here. First, I invite chair of this event, our dearest workaholic and energetic mentor, Principal of our institution, Dr. Renuka Soni LR ma'am. Ma'am, welcome to this program.
Thank you.
Next, I invite our Chief Guest, Sri Jairaj sir, Honorable Member Syndicate, Convener, Department and other institutions, University of Kerala, working as Assistant Professor in Physical Education, Government College, Attingen, who contributing to the efficient functioning and survival of all the colleges, all the B.Ed colleges under the University of Kerala. But he has not yet joining here. He has a Senate meeting at university. He expects he will be joining soon. In his absence, with great pleasure, I welcome you, sir. Then I invite the most respected resource person, Dr. Renu Yadav, Assistant Professor, Department of Education, Central University of Haryana for team presentation. Ma'am, welcome to this webinar. Next, I welcome the most respected resource person, Dr. Sajna Jalil, Associate Professor, School of Pedagogical Sciences, NG University, Kottayam. With great pleasure, I welcome you, ma'am. Next, I welcome the most respected panelist, Mrs. Sini C.K., Headmistress in Sri Chitra Tirunal Residential Center School, Dr. Rashmi K.S., Assistant Professor in Physical Science, KUCT Nadamangadam, Dr. Chitra L., Assistant Professor, M.Ed Department, NSS Training College, Pandalam, Dr. Jisha G.R., Assistant Professor in Physical Science, KUCT Karyavattam, and principals of other colleges, respected research scholars, teachers and non-teaching staff of our colleges, teachers of other colleges presenting here, paper presenting participants, and beloved teaching, non-teaching staff of our college, and dear students, by welcoming everyone once again, thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. Now I invite our strength, motivation, our beloved principal and general convener, Dr. Renuka Soni LR, for the presidential address.
A warm good morning to one and all. Respected Chief Guest of the day, Sri Jayaraj Sir, Honorable Member, Syndicate, Convener of Department and other institution, University of Kerala, Thiruvananthapuram. Resource persons of the day, Dr. Renu Yadav, Assistant Professor, M.Ed Department, Central University of Haryana, Dr. Sajina Jalil, Associate Professor, School of Pedagogical Science, MG University, Kottayam, Kerala, academicians, research scholars, students from different universities and colleges, teachers, non-teachers and dear students. Today, our college is organizing a national webinar on women, education and empowerment in connection with the International Women's Day celebration. The challenges faced by the women in all professions were similar as women were expected to juggle their family and the career. Education empower the women to make choices that improve their children's health, their well-being and the chances of acquiring surveying skills. Last week, a survey was conducted by Pew Research Center, Washington. The survey revealed that Kerala has the highest rate in gender equality thoughts among the other states. Securing the rights of women in India, thereby maintaining the social status in society. Today, I am happy to introduce the empowered women resource persons, Dr. Renu Yadav and Dr. Sajina Jalil in this national webinar. In the afternoon session, different papers will present based on the sub-themes of the webinar. The four panelists of the paper presenters are also the empowered women. I think this national webinar will provide a platform to people in different sectors to discuss the different areas where women have been enabler and expected in the future. Thank you all.
Thank you, ma'am. Now it's time for the inaugural session. Sorry for the inconvenience. Gerard sir will join shortly for the inaugural ceremony. For that, I invite Srimati Smita T.S., Staff Secretary, Assistant Professor of Perspectives of Education for the felicitation.
Good morning to one and all. Good morning to one and all. Respected Principal Renuka Soni LR ma'am, dear from different colleges and my colleagues, non-teaching staff of our college and my beloved students. On this auspicious occasion of the day, there is a national webinar on the theme Women and its Empowerment. The education of women is a must for every society. So, the central government also introduced a scheme, namely Beti Bachao, Beti Padhao. So, the children in the age group must be able to, between 6 to 14 years, must be able to get free and compulsory education. So I wish you very best to this program. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. Pinny teacher, please mute the mic. Thank you. Now I invite Anish D, College Union Chairman, for the felicitation.
Good morning, all. Respected Principal Renuka Sonia Lama, our Chief Guest Sri Jayaraj, Honorable Member Syndicate and Convener, Resource Person Dr. Sajna Jalil and Dr. Renu Yadav, Webinar Coordinator Srimati Binny TR, Srimati Gina Rani MS, Women's Cell Coordinator Srimati Susan George, IT Cell Coordinator Sri Naushar C. Salim, IAKC Coordinator Dr. Nisha AG and other teachers, non-teachers and my dear students. The National Webinar on Women Education and Empowerment. As we all know about the situation, women are facing many problems in their education life, gender discrimination, poverty, lack of adequate facilities. They are not well aware of the importance of women education and many factors drawback them to graduates. Do you know, people coming out theaters are often seen appreciating the acting skills, amazing cast of the movie. Have you ever seen someone appreciating the costume designer, editor, scriptwriter, or any that has been working more than cast behind the camera? This is a woman feeling on daily basis. After taking care of the house, kids, even manage their daily chores, they are not appreciated enough in our society. How can we expect to grow in a world where women are not involved in decision making or even equality? It has become vital to empower our women in our society more than ever. Women empowerment is not about teaching women or involving women in decision making process. Women empowerment is about the gender equality, accepting their thoughts, viewpoints, appreciating their efforts and decision, letting them make their own life decision without forcing them. So, education is one of the important factors to empower women. Pandit Jawaharlal Nehru once famously said that if you educate a man, you educate an individual. However, if you educate a woman, you educate a whole family. Education is a milestone of women empowerment because it enables them to respond to the challenges, to confront their traditional roles and change their life. So we cannot neglect the importance of education in reference to women empowerment. In your neighboring society or nearest slums or in the girl child of your house, help you to mentor, us to be a mentor. If those girls are not enrolled in school, you can get them enrolled in a nearest education facility and teach them to the benefit of education in life. You can also help them by donating books or clothes. You can also provide free tuition to help them in the studies. They are getting things we can do better to help them in need. No greater gift than education. If we can empower a girl by our effort, we should definitely help and bring change in society. And thank you for giving an opportunity to deliver a presentation. And I wish very all the best to participants of the paper presentation. Thank you.
Thank you, Anish. Now I invite Sri Naushad A. Salim, IT Cell Coordinator, Assistant Professor of Natural Science, for the felicitation.
A very good morning to the Honorable Chief Guest of the day, respected Principal, respected resource persons, teachers and my dear friends. No struggle can ever succeed without women participation side by side with men. There are two powers in the world, one is the sword and one is the pen. There is a third power stronger than both, that of woman, and these are the words of Malala Yousafzai. For the overall growth of any country, the F word is very important. And by the F word, I mean feminism. As mentioned in the above words, with the participation of men and women together, any problem can be easily solved. Empowering women is essential to the health and social development of families, communities and countries. A key part of this empowerment is through education. Girls who are educated can pursue meaningful work and contribute to their country's economy later in life. Empowering girls is the key to economic growth, political stability, and social transformation. Today, let me stop my words by wishing all the best to everyone who worked hard to make this event a successful today. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Now I invite Jitin P.S., former College Union Chairman, for the felicitation.
A very good morning to all. The respected our college principal, Dr. Renuka Soni teacher, our chief guest, Dr. Jairaj sir, our resource person, Dr. Renu Yadav, and college teachers, participants, and my dear friends. It is my pleasant privilege to speaking a few words of felicitations at the national webinar hosted by our college. The national webinar on women education and empowerment suggested the possibilities, opportunities, creativity, and stability for women. The women should be voice of their own, protest agonizing the atrocities faced by them. The women should be financially independent to ensure their safety. There is a greater pillar to stability than a strong, the free and educated woman. It is take an opportunity to wishing the success of all the participants. I hope this webinar will be the great success. Thank you. Thank you for all.
Thank you, Jitin. Now I invite Srimati Jeena Rani MS, Webinar Coordinator, Assistant Professor of Hindi, for the felicitation.
Good morning, one and all gathered here. It gives me an immense pleasure to deliver the vote of thanks for this event to the dignitaries assembled here. First of all, I would like to thank our Chief Guest, Dr. Jairaj, Honorable Member Syndicate, Kerala University, Convener, Departments and Institutions in Kerala University, Assistant Professor in Physical Education, Government College, Nottingham. But sir has not yet joining here. He has a sir, welcome sir, Jairaj sir.
Oh, thank you.
Sorry, who will moderate this? Yes sir. This national webinar on women education and empowerment, organized by Internal Quality Assurance Cell and Women's Cell in his busy schedule. I extend my gratitude to the respected principal, Dr. Renuka Soni LR ma'am, who always provides direction and motivation to us to learn and try out new ways to do things better. Thank you, ma'am. I take this golden opportunity to thank the respected resource person, Dr. Renu Yadav, Assistant Professor, Department of Education, Central University of Haryana, who will present the theme, Gendered Higher Education, Exploring Pathway to Empowerment. Ma'am, we are eagerly waiting for your precious words. Thank you, ma'am. I take another golden opportunity to thank the respected resource person, Dr. Sajina Jalil, Associate Professor, School of Pedagogical Sciences, MT University, Kottayam, who will present the theme, Women Empowerment, from Principles to Action. Ma'am, we are waiting for your inspirational words. Thank you, ma'am. I would like to thank our respected panelist, Dr. Chitra L, Assistant Professor, MA Department, NSS Training College, Pandalam, Dr. Jisha GR, Assistant Professor of Physical Science, KUCT, Karyavatam, Dr. Reshmi KS, Assistant Professor of Physical Science, Nirmangar, Srimati Sini CK, HSST, Economics, GGHSS Tarawa, and the honorable principals of all colleges, faculty members, research scholars, students, and our beloved audience for making this function as a grand success. Once again, I thank one and all present here. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. So Gerard sir has joined the webinar. Now I invite Sri Gerard J, Honorable Member Syndicate and Convener, Departments and Other Institution, University of Kerala for the inauguration of National Webinar.
Thank you. Dear resource person and dear principal and other dignitaries on and off the line. It's really happy. First of all, let me extend my sorry to all of you because our Senate was on today and it has gone extended than as expected. That was why I was late. So I apologize for my delay. Thank you for inviting me. I'm really happy to know that KCT Kolakada is organizing a webinar. The topic is very good, women education. If we say that education, are our women educated on a peripheral way, we can also say that, of course, especially in a state like Kerala, the women folk are educated. But if you go really deep rooted into the meaning of education, and if you observe it very precisely, you will see that women are not educated. What's the reason behind that? Of course, women are literate, they are getting all degrees, everything is there. But there is hardly any change in the mindset of the women folk in Kerala. Whether it be we are having a higher degree up to the PhD level or anything else. We all have a mindset where we really feel within ourselves that we are inferior to the male counterparts. That mindset has to be changed. There are many customs, traditions and values which we keep in ourselves to feel ourselves inhibited that need to be removed. And I think education should be directed in that sense, in that way, and being teacher students and teachers of teacher students. The participants of this webinar could really bring out a drastic change in the real mindset of our society. Of course, we need to educate the women as well as the male also, male counterparts, to accept these changes or to get acclimatized or accustomed to the changing scenario which is happening in the world. The customary notions need to be pulled out and a new society need to be formed. And in that sense, I feel that our webinar today will be a stepping stone to it and let it be fruitful. On behalf of the University of Kerala and on behalf of our institution, I announce this program to be inaugurated and thank you for inviting me. Thank you all.
Thank you so much, sir. Now I hand over to Mohammed Shafi for further theme presentation. The theme presentation will begin shortly. Before beginning this is necessary so that we can avoid disturbances and internet issues.
Thank you, Steffi. Mahatma Gandhi, father of our nation, once said, the development of this country can only be achieved through the women's education. So, if you want to contribute something to the development of this country, give your girl child education. I am Mohammed Shafi. Now we are moving on to the next section of the national webinar on women education and empowerment in connection with International Women's Day celebration. We have two themes of presentation. Each presentation take 1 hour of time. There will be a query session after each presentation. I welcome all of you to the theme presentation. Moving on to the first presentation, the theme is Gendered Higher Education, Exploring Pathway to Empowerment. I repeat, Gendered Higher Education, Exploring Pathway to Empowerment. I would like to welcome Srimati Susan George, Women's Cell Coordinator, Assistant Professor, Perspectives in Education, Kerala University College of Teacher Education, Pulakkada, for introducing the resource person. Welcome, ma'am.
A very good morning to one and all. Respected Principal of our college, Dr. Renuka Soni ma'am, who is presiding over this meeting, Honorable University of Haryana, Dr. Sajina Jalil ma'am, Assistant Professor in School of Pedagogical Sciences, Central University, all dear participants of this webinar from different colleges and institutions, dear teachers and non-teaching staffs, and my dear students. Today we gathered here through this online mode for conducting a webinar in connection with the International Women's Day on the topic Women, Education and Empowerment. Women are precious. They are taking different roles such as daughter, sister, wife, mother and mother-in-law, grandmother, etc. And also they are taking different roles in the society. Since the women are taking different roles, their empowerment is very important. Their resources can be used for the development of family, society, nation and the whole world itself. The powerful tool for the empowerment of women is education. Gandhiji says that if you educate a man, we educate a person, and if you educate a woman, we educate a family itself. So from the sayings, we can understand the importance of the women education and their empowerment. So today, the first session will be engaged by Dr. Renu Yadav ma'am. I am so excited to introduce our resource speaker, Dr. Renu Yadav ma'am. Before I take the pleasure of introducing her, I would like to express my sincere gratitude to our beloved principal, Dr. Renuka Soni ma'am, who is taking initiative to conduct this national webinar, and also I extend my gratitude to all teachers, non-teaching staff and students of this college. Now let's hear a brief background on Dr. Renu Yadav ma'am. Dr. Renu Yadav ma'am is currently working as the Assistant Professor in MA Department of Central University of Haryana. She has PhD in Education, MPhil, MD and qualified in Education as well. She has 8 years of experience. She is a gold medalist in MSc Microbiology. Also, she gives research guidance in MPhil, PhD and MA. Her research area is gender concern in education, leadership and educational psychology. Education Hong Kong. She has membership in professional bodies which include American Psychological Association member, International Society for Development and Sustainability, Japan, All India Teacher Educators Association. About 20 papers were published by her in international and national journals, and 27 papers presented at national and international seminars and conferences, and also 10 invited lectures. She has organized 82 programs at the university and national level. She has conducted new courses on inspiring leadership through emotional intelligence, offered by Richard A. Boyatis Professor, Case, Western Reserve University, and on What Future for Education, offered by Dr. Claire Brooks Institute of Education, University of London, and on Women in Leadership Inspiring Positive Changes, offered by Diana Morilla Professor, Case, Western Reserve University. Also, many contributions were made by her to incorporate governance of university and he has attended several professional programs since 2014 to 2017. So today we have got such an eminent person as our guest speaker. She gives us a talk about the topic gendered higher education, exploring pathway to empowerment. Happy welcome, ma'am. Thank you all.
Now I welcome Dr. Renu Yadav,
Thank you so much,
Assistant
Dr.
Professor.
Susan. And
Hello.
we are meeting online, so it's a great pleasure to interact you, both of you. And thank you so much for inviting me and giving me an opportunity to interact with such an eminent academia over here. So because it was my great interaction while I was in 2015, I went to University of Kerala. So am I audible, ma'am?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Yes.
Thank you. Okay, thank you so much. So it's great to hear since morning that how women education is required and why it's required and what impact it can bring in the society. So definitely, it's these all are there. Since ages we are seeing this thing that if a woman is educated, then it will bring definitely all changes in the society. But how these education are gendered in nature, that we have to understand. Because if you see the All India Survey on Higher Education, you will find that women are leading in every field. But still, the much required progress is not visible. Why it's not, and why the few, you can say, streams are skewed in terms of the gender representation, that we have to understand. Because just simply saying that women are not going in education is, I think, not correct. Because if we see the survey, the things are different. So we have to admit that yes, women are progressing, but there are few fields where women are not progressing and or maybe not able to access that. So that gender choice of the education is a matter of concern for all of us. After 75 education field, why there are certain fields which are skewed in nature. So she has definitely planned this seminar in a way that we can better understand the issue in depth. So here I'm giving you a glimpse that Nafia Nazim, you have raised hand. You want to say something? Okay, I think it was by mistake. Fine. So, so when we are saying that we have to understand these gender perspective, so here I am talking about how women in STEM are not as represented as required. So I am sharing my screen right now.
why I'm not able to share it. Is there any? Okay. I think now my screen must be visible. Is it visible to all of you?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
That's great. So, because in online presentations, you know, that it becomes more important to have your screen because we are not meeting offline. So here I am talking about, so in between, if I got disconnected, then please make a call to me. So I come to know, because I have shared the full screen, so I'm not able to see that whether I'm connected or not. So what I was saying that yes, we have to see that why girls in sciences are, and that too in few fields. Okay, in sciences also, it's not the whole science, but a few field of the sciences where girls are not presenting themselves, or even if they are entering, they are having access to this field, then still they are not able to make up the career in that particular field. So that we are trying, today's presentation, I'm trying to explore that how gender is the higher education, and that too in higher education I'm taking specifically the sciences, and how that can be improved, and how the pathways to empowerment in sciences can be achieved. So first, let us understand the STEM education. So STEM is made up of 4 words, as we all know, that science, technology, engineering, and mathematics. So in sciences, the basic behind, and science is not just you can say the subject, right? Science is about certain skills, because until and unless we are not able to understand these skills, we are not able to, you can say, the facilitate the girls to enter into this field. So science is about observing, experimenting, predicting, making predictions, and asking questions. So that is the basics of the science. So if I talk about the technology, technology is about being inventive, using tools, making things work, identifying issues, and using computers. And then if I say instead, E stands for engineering, which is about the solving the problems, using the materials, designing and creating and building something. Then M stands for mathematics. Mathematics is about patterning something, sequencing, exploring shapes, number, volume, size. So all these STEM are meant for certain analytical skills, right? So these analytical skills are the basics to enter into this field. So the curriculum for educating sciences, technology, engineering, and mathematics, it should be integrated and interdisciplinary, because if we are teaching these STEM field in an integrated fashion, then obviously students will have more interest. That's true for even for boys as well. But why I'm taking only for girls, in coming slides I will explain it in more depth, that how these skills which I was exploring just right now are important when it comes to gender, because these expectations of these skills are very gendered. When you say that solving problems, exploring or imagination, or creating and building, and identifying using computers, using tools, these all are designated to male. So that social taboo in the mind of the girls from childhood, they are told like this, that this particular kind of work is meant for the men. Okay, that very simple example is that when in our home we don't have the light and we want to change the bulbs, so we generally ask the boys to do that, not the girls. So that this is very simple exercise, anyone can do it. But affect a lot on the you can say the mentality of the girls, and that bring them to a you can say perception where they are not comfortable with all these things. They imagine like that they are not comfortable with all these things, so they really all know that women has made a tremendous progress, making even impressive gains. And now the new studies are saying, just before 3 days there was a news that women are better politicians than men. So most of the people are agree with it. And for leadership, it's a well-known fact now that everywhere it's saying that when it comes to the transformational leadership, especially the women are the better one in comparison to men. So in sciences also women are coming, as I said, but their progress in the workplace is still slower. So in an era when women are increasingly prominent in medicine, law, business, why there are so few women who are becoming scientists and engineers? That we have to think. Because when they are entering into sciences, then why not they are becoming the scientist and engineer? So let's see few data that how women in STEM persist. So it's all about the all I have taken from the UNESCO data. So women in 5% in natural sciences and mathematics and statistics, and 8% in engineering and manufacturing field. If you see here also in natural sciences, you can say there are more women in comparison to ICT, because we perceive computer is more related to the men. 40% of the total 80,000 scientists, engineers and technologists in research development institutions in India. So among the, even if you see the Nobel Prize awardee, only 20 women won it in the field of medicine, and in comparison to the men. India topped the world in producing the female graduates, but in STEM, India is 19th in employing them. It means when they are graduating, because if I will show you the data, that in MSc and BSc, the number of girls is almost equal to the men, but smart enough, because that highest kind of work are not smart enough for STEM, or that boys and men have the natural affinity for the field. So that's why from childhood, when they are grown up with this kind of nurturing, so they are not comfortable with this field of the STEM. Then there is 14.3% of the science researchers in India are the women. So if we go with this pace only, then it will take around 257 years to eliminate the prevailing gender gap in the workforce. So, and India ranked 112 in the Global Gender Gap Index in 2020. And 81% of the women in India perceive gender bias in performance evaluations, because you know that in sciences, to become a scientist, research is very important. And when it comes to research, if you see all the labs, if you see the data from sciences, that most of the how, because they generally go with the lab collaboration and all. So prone to less, you can say, comfortable with that collaboration kind of evaluations. So 80%, so that's why this data is like this. So we have to think, why don't women choose the STEM? So basically, I'm going to deal with three kind of questions. First, where we are, then why so few, and then a third question can be, how we can encourage change. Because to understand any problem, we have to think about three pertinent questions if we want to solve that issue. First, we should know what's the condition presently, then why this kind of condition exists, and then how we can change that condition. So I'm going to these three questions right now. First question is where we are. If you see as I already said, that women are less in, especially in few fields of the STEM, like engineering and technology and mathematics. So women, if we see the data, DST report, then women constitute only about 16% in science and technology workforce. So among the 99, Inspire Fellow is a, you can say, very reputed award which is given to the faculty for research. So Inspire is innovation in sciences to pursue for inspired research. So in these faculty fellowship which were awarded to the women, only 23% were the female and 67% are the male. So that shows how skewed is the, you can say, and why this is, we will talk about it later. But first I am talking about where we are. So this Inspire Fellow, see the number of the female and male in getting these kind of awards. Then there is one more Inspire Awards, Manak, Million Minds Argumentative National Aspiration and Knowledge Awards. This is given for the original ideas. So throughout country, 96% of the district participated in this award in 2021. And 50.70% were the girls and 49.3% were the boys. If you see this particular, you can say the data and the data of the Inspire Fellow, you will come to know that how Manak Award, where the number of the girls was not very less than the boys, or it was more than the boys. Okay, for the boys. But when it comes to the as a faculty Inspire Fellow Award, then only 23% are the female and 67% are the male. So these two contrasting data, it means they are having the original ideas, because that award is, the Manak Award is given for the original ideas only. So it means they are having the original ideas. But when it comes to further progress in the career in STEM, then they lag behind. Because in Inspire Fellow, only 23% of the female are getting the award. So in Indian scenario, if you see that presence of the women student in school and college is high, and their level of achievement is also high. If you see the data from different colleges and schools, in every year in CBSE, the toppers are girls. In every year in 12th board, maybe 10th board, the girls are topper. If you see the college results, then also most of the girls are topper in the colleges. It means their achievement is high. But in research, they are very low. And then to presence in high position in academics also, it's very low. It is progressing somewhat, but otherwise, if you see the data in the position of vice chancellor is very less in comparison to male. So it means there appears some very serious leakage in the pipeline from college to university to scientific career. Because it's when in school they are sufficient one, in colleges they are doing well. But when it comes to university and then to adopting the scientific career, their number is getting low and low. So the same is showing by the data that in BSc the girls are more than the boys, but in BTech if you see, more males are there in comparison to female. The female were only 28% and male was 72%. In BSc, also in sciences, then MSc, the female are more than the boys. So if this kind of data is there, then why at the level of PhD also it is somewhat, okay, it is similar. Whosoever is entering into the post-graduation, they are going for PhD also. And if you see in the PhD in medicine, they are doing well. In arts, they are doing well. In sciences also, in natural sciences, they are doing well. But in engineering, if you see, in undergraduate also, girls are less. In masters also, they are less. Because more girls are encouraged for the arts, and now the medicine is one more field where we are saying that in biological sciences, the number of girls is, you can say, sufficiently fairly do well in comparison to boys. So it means the skewed attitude of the society compel them to take up one kind of profession but not the other, which are assumed and imagined as a main, you can say, the dimensions. So that's why even if you see the historical perspective of women in sciences, then traditionally they were in the baking, in fermentation, brewery and baking, that is the fermentation technology. Then traditional medicine, where they were having that indigenous knowledge system. Then food production and preservation, that means agriculture and post-harvest technology. Then basketry, weaving, traditional home. As a subject, then it is assumed as a male, you can say you can say authority to do that. So that's very, you can say, skewed, you can say, perception of the society. So what I was saying, that even if you see the Nobel Prize laureates, the Nobel Prize in economic sciences have been awarded to women in 58 times between 901 to 920, 2020, sorry. So if you see in economics, women are awarded with the Nobel Prize, but only one woman, Marie Curie, who has been honored twice with the 903 Nobel Prize in Physics and then in 911 Nobel Prize in Chemistry, but not a single woman was awarded the Nobel Prize in these sciences, especially in the field of the in STEM, except natural sciences, in all other fields. So this means that 57 women in total have been awarded to the Nobel Prize between 911 and 920. See the 2020. So see the gap and the number of Nobel Prize. This science gender gap, why it's Dr. Renuka was saying that in Kerala, women are women education. Kerala is doing fairly well. But in Haryana, from where I belong to, the gender ratio is very skewed. And but in education, they are doing well. So this kind of gender gap. Do you want to say something? So the degree of the gender gap depends upon the localities and culture. Rather than, you can't generalize the things that yes, everywhere it is prevalent. Rather, it is contextual, I can say. That it's STEM, how we perceive the STEM career, how we see the ICT uses of the uses by girls. If you see the internet data, when it was COVID, as we all are now suffering this particular situation, this COVID pandemic, that if you see the more girls were out of school than in comparison to boys. Ever many students in my class who were saying that my parents don't allow me to use the internet because they are saying that on internet you will see only the Facebook and all these things. So, but my brother is using it and they are saying that, okay, your brother require it because he's starting. So these kind of very, you must have faced all these things also in your college as well. So, if although this gap is narrowing, but global pace is very low. So we have to understand why women drop out from the STEM career and when they drop out. Because when they are present in the school, when they are present in the college, but why not in university and why not career as a scientist? So I can say why they drop out, because a lack of support to feeling of exclusion. Because when they enter into the STEM career as a scientist, they feel isolated because both boys and girls study science and technology in India. And does women underrepresentation in STEM lead to limited job opportunity for them? So, if you see the different studies, then women are generally stereotyped as a caregivers and homemakers. So, if you see in teaching also, in elementary you will find more female, in medicine you will find more female, in nursing you will find more female, but as a surgeon you will find less women. So that's why I'm saying that it's not a generalized one dimension that this is all over there, but we have to understand that how we perceive the women, because we generally stereotype women that they are good caregivers, they are good homemakers, although they are, but it's not their you can say drawback. So then we face the double burden life. Then still, if every family responsibility comes to the women, we expect that she will take care of home along with her career. So that double burden is not with the male, because that's why even if in COVID you must have read those reports where in National Commission, because I'm associated with National Commission. These
Please.
Shafizi.
Ranjana.
Yeah, thank you. So you must have, because as I'm associated with National Commission for Women, there were more complaints of the domestic violence for the women during this COVID time, because female were living at home, and while they were living at home, they have to work from home, and then they have to take care of kids, they have to take care of elderly people, and they have to take care of the other members of the family. So, so that's why, and everyone else was also living at home. You can say professional front and the family front both were increased. So the office people were like different females from different area of the India, where they were saying that please let me allow to go to office only, because I'm really fed up while living at home. Because the number of cases of the domestic violence, mental harassment and sexual harassment also has been increased tremendously while living at home. So that kind of, you can say, how if we are living in such a society, then how we can perceive the things, and then they face bias when choosing the career. You know that presently I'm working with two international projects from the UK, that University of Warwick I'm working. So in that we are studying the how gendered are the career choices. So we come to know that in most of the, you can say, the career selection, yeah, of the females, that which career they should pursue, mostly the male members of the society decide whether their father, their brother, or someone else elder to her, and especially male. So they only decide that what kind of career, what kind of, you can say, access to higher education she should opt for. Means college she should opt for. Whether that college should be, you can say that nearby, or she should go outside. So all these decisions are generally taken by the male. There were very few female, because it's a 6-year study which we are conducting. So we are now in the 5th year of the study. So we come to know that it's for very few female, it is their mother, or it is means how, but which career one should select. That is the whole sole responsibility of that particular person only. If we are not allowing that person to choose a career, then we are not allowing her to explore her capabilities. So, but in our study, we found that most of the time it is only the male members of the family who are deciding that which career and which college she should opt for to pursue her higher education. And one more very interesting in another project which I am doing, that a very interesting finding has come, that sometimes family allow the girls to take to pursue a career in sciences to get her married to a better, you can say, the groom, because groom are preferring the girls in sciences. So that also very, you can say, the interesting one finding has come out. So then there is a lack of leadership opportunity for women. Maybe that will find, if you do a survey, as many of you are from the social sciences and you must be doing your projects. So just do a survey that in Kerala, how many females are there who are the lab heads, or maybe who are the dean research. So you will find that there are very few. Mostly when I say the dean research, it will generally assume a male into that role. As I said, that when we assume the surgeon, generally it's a male figure which comes in our mind. So then, there are, you can say, why we are here. The second pertinent question which I was saying, that why we are here. As there are social taboos which I have just talked about, girls' achievement and interest in STEM are shaped by social and environmental factors. Social taboos I have just talked about, and then there are, you can say, mindset. So two kind of environmental factors I can say. One is growth mindset and another one is stereotype threat. So growth mindset is believing that in potential for intellectual growth in and of itself into the outcome. Because when we have the growth mindset, we will believe that yes, we have the intellectual growth, we have the intellectual potential, and when we have that kind of confidence in ourselves, then it will definitely improve the outcomes. But generally it happens that this growth mindset are believed only for the males, not for the females. For females, it's a kind of fixed mindset. It means then it's like this rat I have shown over here, and there is a zigzag. So, but if we are told to rat multiple times that yes, you can't do, you can't do, you can't do, then definitely the that as we are telling to the girls that there are so many challenges. As a scientist, there are so many challenges. You will not be able to encounter all those. That will loosen their confidence. And the another thing which I was saying, that smart word. If you are smart, things will easily come to you. You know that word smart, if you see as a word, it's fine that one should be smart. But generally we perceive it like one should know how to manage and one should know how to do the cunningness. However, when it is about the managing the people, the female can do better, because when they can manage the whole family, they can manage office too. But we generally say the boys are smart and they will do the things easily, and girls are not smart one. So that's why the things will be difficult for them. So we generally say that you will not be, then another fixed mindset is that you have to work very, very hard and you will not be able to do it. We generally question their abilities, and that's why they lose their confidence. The girls lose their confidence that, okay, oh my God, it is too difficult, it is too tedious task that I will not be able to do it. And we generally tell them that if you are not good at the task, you will never be good at it. So you are likely to give up the things. So it's a psychological phenomenon which is common. Even if we train boys like this also, they also become the girls only. It is such kind of fixed mindset for girls. How they will progress and how they will, you can say, will be competent, and they are competent, but how they will be easily handle all these things. Definitely, when you choose some career, the hurdles comes. When you choose some career, the effort, every career you have to work hard, but you can do. That's a very common thing. But when we make girls like that, no, you can't do this, you can't go even alone somewhere, then how you will work in lab for whole night? You know, when I was in the MSc, then we were having the lab work. And for lab, obviously, you have to take readings whenever the time is there. So generally people say, oh, how alone you will do this? I said, as you will do it, I can also do it. So that's but I'm saying that it is about the social taboo kind of thing that a girl can't do. There's a perception, we make it like this, oh, if it is a. So that with that kind of mindset, if someone has grown up, how she will perform better in her life. So that fixed mindset should be changed into the growth mindset if we want that our girls should opt for the STEM career. So then we should train them that you have that power of efforts. That is a very great power, because it's a power of effort is with everyone. If I do the efforts for something, I will definitely get it. And maybe sometimes in one trial or sometimes in the 100 trial, because we all have seen that particular, you can say, that trial and error theory. We all know about it, trial and error theory. That if you do the efforts, you will get the reward. So then definitely your confidence actually grows in the face of difficulty, because difficulty comes with everyone. Na? So if you are trained in this way, then definitely you will get, whenever there is difficulty, you will be able to face those difficulty. So you should believe that you are learning with these difficulties and you are getting smarter as a result of challenging yourself. So smarter is not a negative term, rather it is a positive. If you see that with efforts, with experiential, we get the experiential learning, and experiential learning help us to perform better. So if with this mindset, everyone is grown up, maybe the girls or boys, then definitely they can make a career. But it is more true for the girls, because these obstacles, these challenging problems, it's the essence of the scientific work. Because research in sciences is not like a cakewalk. But if we encourage them to encounter these obstacles, then they can also excel in every field. If you believe that you have a fixed amount of intelligence, then definitely you will lose the confidence. And because whenever there is difficulty, you will feel like, oh, I can't do it because I'm less intelligent in comparison to boys. So dear girls, you are not less intelligent, because intelligence is as such a concept which you can say include many dimensions, although we generally go only with one kind of intelligence, but it includes many kind of intelligence, and there are a few kind of intelligence in which girls are better than boys. That is research, I'm not exaggerating it. But so it means girls are also equally intelligent. So one should have that faith in oneself that yes, they can also do the things as boys can do. So this is, although this is true for all students, but it's particularly relevant for the girls in mathematics and science, where negative stereotype persists about their abilities. So that's why I am saying more about the girls, because generally when it comes to mathematics, we generally have this perception that yes, generally we have this perception that girls can't do it, only boys are better performer in mathematics. So these, although they both are having the equal abilities, but this stereotype which we have for the girls negatively impact their abilities. So if we in STEM, if we have the growth mindset, that will benefit the girls, because if I compare the fixed and growth mindset, then in fixed mindset, we have this particular perception that intelligence is static. But in growth mindset, we say intelligence can be developed, and it can be developed. We all know about it. So then in fixed mindset, we say we desire to look smart, and therefore there is a tendency to. But in growth mindset, we say we needs to desire to learn, not to look smart, but to learn, and therefore a tendency to learn the things better and to get smarter. Then in fixed mindset, we generally avoid the challenges, but in growth, we do the opposite. So there are few more, but the main we generally, for girls, we have the static mindset, we have the fixed mindset. So that should be changed for the girls, because we should believe them, we should have a positive perception about it. Yes, when there is a difficulty, then definitely difficulties are made for the learning, not to stop. Okay, whenever we encounter certain difficulty, that it means we have more opportunity to learn, rather to stop learning and to doubt your own abilities. So now what we should do, what should be the intervention, how we should change this kind of situation. As I said, that three questions are very prominent. So the third question is, what should be the intervention? How you should change this particular situation? For this, the first, it should start with the parents and teachers, that as we all are the teachers. So it's very important that we as a teacher, we should teach our kids that intellectual skills can be acquired. It's not by birth or innate. by innate intellectual capabilities are general IQ, which everyone must be having, but intellectual skills that can be acquired. When girls are taught that their intelligence can expand with experience and learning, they do better on math test and more likely to want to continue to study mathematics in future. As if I talk about for myself also, when in my childhood, when I was in 9th or 10th, it was so fearful to take maths because everyone, this social taboo has impacted me as well a lot when I was studying the mathematics. So that we should change. Then as a parent and teacher, we should praise the efforts of the kids. And don't say that you are so smart, so that's why you are able to do well. Say you have worked hard, that's why you did it. Because if we are, that small change brings big changes. As I was saying that even a single statement can change the life of a girl. So it's our general statements which needs to rectify if we really want to change the, you can say, the society, or you want to change the societal attitude. So when we say that you are so smart, it means you are will come to know the importance of the hard. Especially important to praise the smartest kid for their effort, not for being a spontaneous answer, rather the hard work which they have done to get something done. So they often get good grades and get praised for their intelligence. So that's why they go and they do good things. But when you say that when work get tough, then if you have, even if you are not able to perform very well, but still if you have tried it and you was you can say able to make it somewhat, then also it's great, and we should appreciate the effort of the student. Then parents and teachers should highlight the struggle rather than just the outcome. Okay, struggle, that in teaching, I sometimes being a teacher in since 2007 I'm doing the teaching, so it's almost 15-20 years. So I generally see that we just praise the students who get the good grades, means outcome based. But it's very you can say disheartening to see sometimes students do the hard work, but they are not able to make it as much as the other has been done, because the individual differences are there. But we as a teacher, we should take care that we should highlight the struggle, we should highlight the efforts of that particular student, that will show that we value the hard work and we admire the efforts, not just the outcome. That's why that generally it happens. You must have seen one series is there, as nowadays it's a time of Netflix. So there is one series of Quota Factory. So in Quota Factory, it is shown that how educational with coaching institutions, which generally prepare students for NEET and IIT. So it's a story around that only. So how students feel pressurized, how outcome is more important. And there is one teacher who is saying when there is a result and the students who got unsuccessful, he do the party with them. And he asked them that, everyone asked that, sir, everyone is appreciating the students who got the award today in academy. Why you have not appreciated them, and why you are celebrating these students who were not able to do it? Then he said that I appreciate their struggle. They struggle to come up to this place, because that the situation, the background of every student is very different. Maybe the students who you can secure 60%, that comes from a background where he has never learned, you can say learn the English, never learn the sciences, but still he or she is managed to get the 60%. But one student who comes from you can say the very affluent background, if that student is making 90%, then for the journey to get the 80 or 90%, and the students who are coming from a very humble background, the journey to reach at 60% is very different. So we should appreciate that journey. We should appreciate that efforts if we really want that our students should they will definitely come up with you can say they will feel motivated and they will do well in their life. So this will teach the kids the value that the heart of the STEM success, it is about loving the challenges, and that's the hard work, and learn from our mistakes. Because obviously when we do something, then there will be mistakes. If you don't do anything, there will be no mistake. If you are sitting idle at home and doing nothing, then there will be no mistake. But if you are trying to do something, then obviously there will be mistake. So we should appreciate that obviously with mistakes we learn something which that requirement of the hard work. And STEM is not only about the you can say the success, it's about the challenge. Whosoever is love challenge, they can come to the STEM field. Then parents and teachers should because you know that there is we generally say he or she is a gifted student, that's why he or she is able to do it. And especially when it comes to girl, it is not just I agree that there are gifted students, and but these are you can say in NPC they are less than 1%. Most of the students are in the average area. So only just being gifted is not important. Rather, how to become gifted in true sense, that is important. Growth is important. Learning is important. So we should send this message to our students that we value the growth and we value the learning. Not just that by birth, if you and how growth mindset can help the student to come out, and especially the girls. Second one is stereotype threats are there. As I society about the ability of the women and girls in STEM. So IT women face in a situation where they have the potential to confirm a negative stereotype about the women as a group. It's really important. When they work in a group where male and female both are there, so generally we have this perception, okay, only male will be able to do it, I will not. And we generally assume, I have in picture, maybe it's not very clear, but in pictures signs are different. For male, the signs are like scissors, the aeroplane, and like these car and dollars, and these kind of signs are there. For women, there is a flower, there is a you can say nail paint and heart and medical. It's kind of signs are there. That shows that this stereotype, which is you can say very much ingrained in our mind, that women will be more comfortable with it, and male will be more comfortable with flying and all those things, with affect the woman to perform better in. As I was saying, that when we assume the female in medicine, we assume her as a nurse, but when we assume a boy in the medical, then we assume him as a doctor. So, for example, there are two stereotypes. Girls are not as good as boys in maths, and scientific work is better suited to boys and men. So, as in elementary school, kids are aware about the stereotype and can express the stereotypical beliefs about the STEM courses are suitable for boys and girls. there is one experiment which has been done. I will just share that experiment. So girls and young women are aware of and negatively affected by the stereotypical image of a scientist. When I say scientist, we generally assume men at the place. We never assume a female or a girl in that particular position. So although it's unspoken, but this negative stereotype about women and girls in STEM are very much alive. That's why when it comes to scientists, we don't assume female in this role. So there is a large body of experimental research which found that negative stereotype affects the women and girls' performance and aspirations in the STEM. So every female student who strongly identify with maths would think that they are good at maths, and being good in maths is important to them because that is impact that their stereotype. Okay, so if they are performing very well into the mathematics, then they think okay, they are you can say as competent as boys, and that's why they can do it. So that stereotype, but otherwise that stereotype will affect their performance and aspiration. So a stereotype threat may help to explain. So girls get higher grades in STEM classes, lower scores. As you must have seen in 12th or 10th exam, girls qualify more and having the higher percentage in exams. But when it comes to Olympiad or any kind of test like NEET, JEE Mains, JEE Advanced, more boys perform better, because we generally assume that okay, girls they are with that stereotype. When they grow up, then they feel that okay, we are not comfortable with the objective kind of questions which require more accuracy, more you can say instant reaction, instant you can say attempt to question, but they are better in subjective. So that stereotype definitely you can say affect them to in their scores. So then it may also explain why fewer girls express interest in career in mathematical demanding field. Because in JEE, that's why in BTech you will find that boys were around 62% and girls were around 23%. So girls may be trying to reduce the likelihood that they will judge through the lens of the negative stereotype. Because when they say that mathematician means male, so when they come, then they generally avoid these kind of you can say jargons when. So that's why to avoid those jargons, they don't want to enter into the field of mathematics. They want to avoid it. That's why there are very few girls in the BTech. So that stereotype threat can be felt as both psychological and physiological response that result in impaired performance. That's why they are not able to do it. Because they have this perception, okay, everyone will say, oh, girls can't do the mathematics. That's why they are not able to qualify the JEE Advanced. So there is one experiment was done that stereotyped individual made more of an effort, attempt more times. They reread items more often, work slow, and work with less accuracy. Yes, will say, oh, she's a girl, that's why she's not able to crack the JEE Advanced. So these kind of, that's why they again and again read that statement and they get less confidence. So one example is there that researcher gave a math test to two group of females and male college students with similar math abilities. So group one was told that men perform better than the women on the test. That is the stereotype fact, you know. And second group were told specifically that this test was designed to be gender neutral. It means no stereotype kind of threat kind of test was there. So these were the results. Negative stereotype about girls and women ability in mathematics and science adversely affect their performance in these results. So, but if there is no stereotypic, you can say the exposure to girls, then they perform well. Like you will see the second group where no stereotype threat is there, and the girls and boys were fairly equal. But when there is a stereotype threat, women were very, very less in comparison to boys. So this had changed the whole result of the study. So that's why we have to into the STEM field. So our girls definitely deserve more than these pink dolls and these nail paints and all. So our girls women should be included into the STEM field, because inclusion of the women for bringing more necessary, not only for bringing more diversity, rather it improves the quality of science and technology. So let's not consider them as a charity to a woman that mostly it happens that we do it like a charity, but who are losing out, but rather that a good of science that which is losing out for insufficient or inefficient participation of the women. So given the economic realities also, women participation in science bound to increase, hence it's even more essential. So it's not a charity that we are doing towards the women to include them into the STEM, rather it's a necessity to include them into the STEM field. So at national stage, there are legislation, government policies for which should ensure the equal access to education, training, hiring, promotion, retention in STEM programs and commitments to for women inclusion in STEM. Then there should be society, family, or individual commitment are also important. Then a disaggregate statistics on women participation in STEM should be publicized so that mentoring can be done. Because when women see that more women are assume themselves with them, so they will feel better, and the more women will enter into the STEM field. Then there should be educational activities like open day, science fair, competition, field trip, science club, science clinics, and in that women should be included. Then there should be education where we are using all kind of mass media. There should be curriculum provision, there should be research provision, there should be affirmative action can also help in this. Then there should be career guidance and counseling, mentorship, job, career books should be there. Then there should be school visits which inform, encourage, inspire and motivates the girls to give them the confidence. And the future of the India is for the social and economic reason indicate that participation of number of women in science is going to increase in the coming decade. So it's a good news for all of ways in which this pursuit of the science by women can be effective. As I said, women are there in sciences, but how skewed is the present decision and implementation needs to be taken now to ensure that particular, you can say, inclusion of the women. So we should have to change from the glass ceiling, saying that mind your head because male are above the female and there is a glass ceiling for the female. We have to break the glass and both should be the equal partner. We should break this glass ceiling and both should be the equal partner in this experimentation. So with that words, I stop here. If there are few questions, these are the references. If there are questions, you can ask those questions or anything else you want to say.
Thank you, ma'am, for the wonderful presentation. Now we are open for queries. If you have any queries regarding the presentation, raise your hands, please.
check the chat box if there is any query. No, I can't see. If you want to give any of your reflection also, then also you.
It's a very informative class, Dr. Renu. We got a lot of information about the stems.
Their appreciation. Thank you so much. Even if you have any further query, I'm writing my mail ID. So because I'm working right now on this, so if you have any query, you can send me your query to mail. I have written my mail. Thank you so much, everyone.
Okay, thank you.
Is there anything else? Come on, shall I do?
Okay. Any doubt or any queries regarding this topic?
And sorry for the inconvenience caused while your presentation. And we are very happy to have you here from 3,000 kilometers away. Now, I welcome Srimati Sumam S, Assistant Professor of Commerce, Kerala University College of Teacher Education, Kolakata, for the speech of vote of thanks for this tea presentation. Welcome, ma'am.
Thank you, Shafi. A lovely and warm morning to all. It's a matter of pride for me that I am proposing a vote of thanks for this wonderful session. Ma'am, we are blessed with a wonderful, valuable thoughts and findings of your various researches and your ideas you shared with us. The session highlighted the equal participation of women in higher education will help our country to make a vital contribution to sustainable development. Along with the provision of equal access to education, quality and affordability must also be emphasized. Ma'am also pointed out that curriculum should be integrated all without considering gender difference. And the low. Presence in high positions in academics is also low. As teachers, we make girls very confident that you can do everything in your life, and intellectual skills also be acquired from your hard work, and also we must appreciate their struggles. Thank you, ma'am, for your inspiring words. On behalf of the entire institution and entire participants presented here, I express my sincere gratitude to Dr. Renu ma'am for spending her valuable time with us and also provide valuable and worthy speech about higher education, gendered higher education. Thank you so much, ma'am. Thank you.
Thank you so much, everyone. Thank you so much, Renuka ma'am, once again. And thank you so much.
Thank you, thank you, thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. Moving on to the next theme presentation. The theme is Women Empowerment from Principles to Action. I repeat, Women Empowerment from Principles to Action. For introducing the resource person, I would like to welcome Dr. Nisha A.G., Assistant Professor of
Good morning. Hello friends, myself Dr. Nisha A.G., Assistant Professor of Visual and Performing Arts, KUCT Kulakada. Respected faculty members, research scholars and my dear students. Today in connection with International Women's Day, we KUCT Kulakada family has conducting a national webinar on women, education and empowerment. It gives me an immense pleasure to introduce and welcome our second session resource person, Dr. Sajna Jalil, ma'am. I welcome ma'am to this session. Dr. Sajna Jalil, ma'am is working as an associate professor in School of Pedagogical Science, NG University, Kottayam. She is a BSc, MSc, B.Ed, M.Ed and PhD holder. She did his BSc, MSc, B.Ed and M.Ed in the subject Mathematics and PhD in Education. She is a UGC net holder and also got a Best Paper Award in the year 2000. Ma'am is having 20 years of teaching experience and act as a different subjects. She published 39 research articles. In her career, there are of 4 invited talks, 64 citations, 3 H index, 2 I-10 index in national seminars and workshops. She presented 31 presentations in national level, 41 presentations in international level, 6 workshops and organized many conferences, seminars and webinars. She is an editorial board member of Universal Journal of Education Research, Horizon Research Publishing, USA. She has participated in the capacity building workshop for Swayam course organized by National Institute of Technical Teachers Training and Research, Chennai. She is a board member of PG and UG Education of Mahatma Gandhi University. She served as an associate editor, e-learning instructional designs for short-term learning organism. She is a life member of 3 professional bodies. I welcome again Dr. Sajna Jalil ma'am for today's second section and thank you very much.
Thank you, Dr. Nisha A.G. For the nice introduction and respected Honorable Member Syndicate and Convener, Departments and other institutions, University of Kerala, Sri Jairaj Dey, Dr. Devika Soni Ella, General Convener of the webinar and Principal, KUCT Kulakada, Kollam, Dr. Renu Yadav, Assistant Professor, Department of Education, Central University of Haryana, and all the distinguished participants of the program, and Srimati Vinitya, Webinar Coordinator, Assistant Professor in Social Sciences, KUCT, Kulakada, Kollam. A very good morning to one and all. First of all, a big congratulations to Dr. Devika Soni and her team for organizing such a wonderful seminar. Okay, to begin with, I will share my screen. So my topic for presentation today is women empowerment. and principles to action. So you can see my first slide. Here we can see the happy faces of from the little baby to a very old person. So we want to be every woman of this world in this way. Okay, but what is happening in actual practice? You can see here. Okay, these are the conditions prevailing. Mostly, I can say up to 92% or 25%, you can say these are things happening. So Jawaharlal Nehru rightly said, we can tell the condition of the nation by looking at the status of its women. And also, we can equate women empowerment with national empowerment. If our women are empowered, definitely our nation will be empowered. And we can see the quotes of Mother Teresa. I alone cannot change the world, but I can cast a stone across the waters to create many ripples. And also you can see the quote of Malala. As you can see the quotations of Father of Nation, Mahatma Gandhi, that women is the companion of man, gifted with equal mental capacities. And also, man can never be a woman's equal in the spirit of selfless service with which nature has endowed her. So, how much he is valuing a woman is evidence from this quote. And also, there is no occasion for women to consider themselves subordinate or inferior to men. And the quote of Indira Gandhi, to be liberated, women must feel free to be herself, not in rivalry to man, but in the context of her own capacity and her personality. So we can't do it in isolation. Against women through active participation of all, men, women, society, governments, and government. It is imperative to make women empowerment a people's movement. So these all stress that we all have to join our hands to make our women empowered. So what is women empowerment? It's the process by which women gain power and control over their own lives and acquire the ability to make strategic choices. So very important that we have to gain power and control. How this we can it can happen? That is very important. Okay. So women empowerment refers to the process of increasing women's access to control over the strategic life choices that affect them and access to the opportunities that allow them fully to realize their capacities. So we have to, first of all, we have to recognize what are the capabilities we have. That is the primary part to make our women empowered. Next definition by World Vision Australia, women's empowerment can be defined to promoting women's sense of self-worth, their ability to determine their own choices, and their right to influence social change, both themselves and others. So we can see some of the quotes of empowered women. First, we can see the quote of Malala Yousafzai. Let us remember one book, one pen, and one child, and one teacher can change the world. This is very important quote. Whole family or whole society. Okay, so we have to remember one book, one pen, one child and one teacher can change the world. It's the famous quote by Malala Yousafzai. And I believe in equality. I believe there is no difference between a man and a woman. I even believe that a woman is more powerful than a man. These are some only two quotes of Malala Yousafzai. And next is Anne Frank. You are all familiar with Anne Frank. Her quote is that I know what I want. I have a goal, an opinion. I have a religion and love. Let me myself, and then I am satisfied. I know that I am a woman with inward strength and plenty of courage. So this is a quote by Anne Frank. And you are all familiar with Harry Potter and the quote of J.K. Rowling. You control your own life. Your own will is extremely powerful. We know that we have to, if we want to make some change, it should come from within, from our own will. So you control your own self. Your own will is extremely powerful. This is the quote by J.K. Rowling. And next is Vilma Rudolph. Vilma Rudolph is the first black woman to not only win 3 Olympic medals, but to do so at a single Olympic Games held at Rome in 1960s. In her own words, believe me, the reward is not so great without the struggle. From her word itself, it is we can feel the struggle she made in getting these gold medals. And also her quote is that never underestimate the power of dreams and the influence of the human spirit. We are all the same in this notion. The potential for greatness lies within each of us. So we have to dream high. We have to dream high, then only we can achieve high ends. Okay. Next is the quote by Marie Curie. You the individuals. So this is first statement is for the all individuals. Then how we can happen this? To that end, each of us must work. But all, each and every individual's improvement. So we have first we have to try for our own improvement. Then we have to talk about the society's improvement. So we cannot hope to build a better world without improving the individuals. To that end, each of us must work for our own improvement. Okay. Then next is women are the largest untapped reservoir of the talent in the world. This is the quote by Hillary Clinton. And so we have to decide whether we have to do our best in this world for the little period we are living here. So what are the components of women's empowerment? First one is women's sense of self-worth. We have to be aware of our self-worth. So women's self-worth, a sense of self-worth is very important, and their right to have and to determine choices. So they have to choose their career, their food, their dress, everything. So they have the right. They have the right to have and to determine their choices, and also their right to have access to opportunities and resources. Then fourth one is their right to have power to control their own lives, both within and inside, so outside the home. So their own lives, both within and outside the home. And next is their ability to influence their direction of social order nationally and internationally. Okay, so these are the 5 components for women's empowerment. Next is what are the ways to empower women? First one is very important point is providing education. Then self-employment and self-help groups. Then third one is provide minimum needs like nutrition, health, sanitation, and housing. Fourth one, other than this, society should change the mentality towards the word women. Very important point. We have to treat the women equally with men. Then encouraging women to develop in their fields, encouraging women to develop in their fields they are good at and make a career. Okay, so we have to identify, each woman have to identify in what way they are good at. And so in that, we all know that we are good at each field. So we have to make a career in that field. So, so this is a famous quote by Crips. Let's educate a man and you educate an individual. And if you educate a woman and you educate a family. This is a very important quote by Crips. These are the women's empowerment principles put forward by UN Women of United Nations. First one is establish high-level corporate leadership for gender equality. There are 7 in number. And the second one is treat all women and men fairly at work, respect and support human rights and non-discrimination. And third one is ensure the health, safety and well-being of all women and men workers, promote education, training and professional development for women. Next is implement enterprise development, supply that promote equality through community initiatives and advocacy, report on progress to achieve gender equality. So we will look one by one. Before that, what is UN Women? UN Women is the UN organization for delivering programs, policies and standards that uphold women's human rights and ensure that every woman and girl lives up to her full potential. So, so their focus is on the issues that unlock progress on gender equality. And on this International Women's Day on 8th March, their theme is Gender Equality Today for a Sustainable Tomorrow. So these are the women who are leading this UN Women, executive leadership of UN Women. Ms. Sima Sami was executive. Then this Ms. Anita Bhatia of India as Assistant Secretary General of the United Nations. So we have a representative there. Okay. Next, coming to principle 1, leadership promotes gender equality. Here we can say that it's affirm high-level support and direct top-level policies for gender equality and human rights. And also we had to establish company-wide goals and targets for or institution-wide, okay, company-wide or institution-wide goals and targets for gender equality and include progress as a factor in managers' performance reviews. Next is engage internal and external stakeholders in the development of company policies, programs and implementation plans that advance equality. And also we have to ensure that all policies are gender sensitive, identifying factors that impact women and men differently, and that so these are the these all comes under leadership promotes gender equality. And we can see a famous quote by she's the New Zealand Prime Minister, and her message to each woman is be yourself. It's good enough. This is the message by Jessica Anderson and Arden. And one of her quote is that I want to be a good leader, not a good lady leader. I don't want to be known simply as the women who gave birth. So this is a famous quote by Jacinda Ardern. So Principle 2 is equal opportunity, inclusion and non-discrimination. So we have to give equal opportunity to both men and women, and also we have to include women in all the. There should not be any there should not be any. This is the second principle: equal opportunity, inclusion, and non-discrimination. So pay equal remuneration, including benefits for work of all women and men and women, and also ensure that workplace policies and practices are free from gender-based discrimination. Next is implement gender-sensitive recruitment and retention practices and proactively recruit and appoint women to managerial and executive positions and to corporate board of directors. So there should be equal representation for women in managerial and executive positions, and also assure sufficient participation of women, that is 30% or greater, in decision making and governance at all levels and across all business areas. And next is offer flexible work options, leave and re-entry opportunities to positions of equal pay and status. Okay, whenever she's in need, so we have to offer flexible work options, and also support access to child and development care by providing services, resources and information to both women and men. So these are the steps that can be taken for is the Federal Chancellor of Germany, and according to her, ever since the Roman Empire, ever since the Chinese War, we know that shutting ourselves off does not help. Okay, so the principle 3, health, safety and freedom from violence. I think this is very important principle among these 7. Taking into account differential impact on women and men, provide safe working conditions and protection from exposure to hazardous materials and disclose potential risks, including to reproductive health. Next, establish a zero tolerance policy towards all forms of violence at work, including verbal and or physical abuse, and prevent sexual harassment. Next one, strive to offer health insurance or other needed services, including for survivors of domestic violence, and ensure equal access for all employees. Then respect women and men workers' rights to time off for medical dependents. In consultation with employees, issues including the safety of women traveling to and from work and on company-related business. Then train security staff and managers to recognize signs of violence against women and understand the laws and company policies on human trafficking, labor, and sexual exploitation. So we have one other quote by Sanna Marin, she's Prime Minister of Finland. We all have to fight each and every day for equality. This is the quote by Sanna Marin, Prime Minister of Finland. Okay. Then next principle is education and training. Invest in workplace policies and programs that open avenues for advancement of women at all levels and across all business areas, and encourage women to enter non-traditional job fields, and ensure equal access to all company-supported education and training programs, including literacy classes, vocational and information technology. They are stressing the importance of in-service programs, in-service training also. Okay. Provide equal opportunities for formal and informal networking and mentoring. And offer opportunities to promote the business case for women empowerment and the positive impact of inclusion for men as well as there is one another quote by Prime Minister Emma Solberg of Norway. When you invest in a girl's education, she feeds herself, her children, her community, and her nation. Okay. And principle 5, enterprise development, supply chain, and marketing practices. Here, expand business relationship with women-owned enterprises, including small businesses and women entrepreneurs. Support gender-sensitive solutions to credit and lending barriers. Ask business partners and peers to respect the company's commitment to advancing equality and inclusion, and respect the dignity of women in all marketing and other company materials. Ensure that company products, services, and facilities are not used for human trafficking and or labor or sexual exploitation. We can engage our students also, or ask our students also to start their own new, they can act as new entrepreneurs. Okay, not only in whatever field they are interested or they are equipped. Okay. So here comes the quote of Catherine Jacobs, Prime Minister of Iceland. Women's economic independence is the key to ending women's inequality. Governments can lead the way by adapting policies that ensure women's participation in the economy and in society at large. Well-funded shared parental leave and universal child care are infrastructure investments that create a better future for all of us. Okay. Then coming to the principle 6, community leadership and engagement. This should lead by example. So showcase company commitment to gender, deliberate influence alone or quality, and collaborate with business partners, suppliers, and community leaders to promote inclusion. And we have worked with community stakeholders, officials, and others to eliminate discrimination and exploitation and open opportunities for women and girls. And next is promote and recognize women's leadership in and contribute to their communities and ensure sufficient representation of women in any community consideration. And use philanthropy and grants programs to support company commitments to inclusion, equality, and human rights. She is the Prime Minister of Denmark, and up to her court, we will fight for new direction. Okay, this for Denmark only, and also we can make it for ourselves also. So don't socialize with more than 10 people outside your family. It's a quote by Matthew Frederickson. Okay. Then coming to the principle 7, transparency, measuring and reporting. So make public the company policies and implementation plan for promoting gender equality, and also establish benchmarks that quantify inclusion of women at all levels, and measure and report on progress both internally and externally using disaggregated by gender, and incorporate gender markers into ongoing reporting obligations. So these are the this is the last principle: transparency, measuring, and reporting. So whatever the policies or policies or implementation plan, that we have to make it public. That is for promoting gender equality, and also we have to establish some benchmark for a benchmark that quantify the inclusion of women at all levels. This is the president of Sai Ing-wen from an interview with Worldwide Association of Women Journalists and Writers. She said, women should not accept anything as fate. We just have to do what we want to do and achieve what we can achieve. So these are the leaders of today, and we have seen some of the quotes by these eminent leaders. Okay, so now we will discuss some of the programs or awards that are instituted for the women of our country. First one is Nari Shakti Puraskar. Nari Shakti Puraskar means Women Power Award. Is an annual award given by the Ministry of Women and Child Development of the Government of India to individual women or the institutions that work towards the cause of the women empowerment. And the awards are presented by the President of India on International Women's Day, 8th March at Rashtrapati Bhavan, New Delhi. Okay. And the awards were instituted in 1999 under the title of Sri Shakti Puraskar, and now it is Nari Shakti Puraskar. Okay. And the cash prize is rupees 2 lakhs and 1 lakh respectively. For institution, it is 2 lakh, and individual category is 1 lakh. Bhagirathi Amma, Katyayani Amma is an Indian woman who became the national celebrity after passing a literacy examination with top marks at the age of 96. And she received the Nari Shakti Puraskar Award, of the highest civilian award for women by the Government of India from President of India. And also Bhagirathi Amma and was an Indian woman who lived in the Kollam district of Kerala. She came to national attention when she returned to education at the age of 105. She was honored with the Nari Shakti Puraskar, the highest civilian award for women, by the Government of India from the President of India and Prime Minister Narendra Modi singled her out of prize. And these Manita Ratnam Awards are the awards instituted and given every year by the Women and Child Development Department, and it is formerly Social Welfare Department of Government of Kerala, to honor the women who excel in the various media, sports, acting, and women empowerment. The award, which carries a cash prize of 3,000 rupees, 300,000 rupees each, was instituted in December 2013 and started to be awarded from 2014. And also India celebrates February 13 as National Women's Day. And it's Sarojini Naidu's birthday. Okay. To conclude, I must say, women empowerment is equal to nation empowerment. So we have to stick on our own empowerment. So each and every girls and also women of our society have to think about our own empowerment. Then only it will happen, and also then only the nation will get empowered. So we can say that women empowerment will definitely equal to national development. So thank you all for patient hearing, and this is my institution. I think all of us are familiar with Mahatma Gandhi University, and this is our School of Pedagogical Sciences. Thank you all.
Thank you, ma'am, for the wonderful presentation. Now we are open for queries. If you have any queries regarding this,
A very good class. We got a lot of informations regarding the eminent women in the worldwide. So I am very happy to congratulate Dr. Sajina.
Thank you so much.
You can ask any doubts or queries to Dr. Sajina.
Everyone, sir. Sure.
The status of each woman. Through this section, ma'am covered what woman empowerment means, the components of woman empowerment, ways to empower a woman, and woman empowerment principles. The class is a new pathway which enhances our knowledge on woman empowerment.
from principles to action, it was definitely worthwhil talk, which could encourage and motivate our young teachers. I extend my sincere gratitude towards Dr. Sajana Jalil on behalf of myself and our KCT Kolkata for your valuable time and for providing class. Thank you, ma'am. Thank you.
Once again, thank you, ma'am.
Thank you all, especially the Enoga teacher for inviting me for this wonderful session. Thank you all for patience here. Okay, thank you so much.
Thank you. Okay, thank you.
For your kind information, link for online certificate is available in chat box. Please do check out and fill carefully. Once again, I sincerely thank you all for your participation and patience. Now we are running out of time, so we are concluding the morning session here. The afternoon session will be the paper presentation. So the link for the meeting will be provided after 12:45 p.m.
Okay. I'm very thankful to all the participants in the national webinar, and I also congratulate the whole team, that is the teachers, non-teachers, and the students of our college, that is the crew behind the national webinar in a smooth way. Once again, I congratulate all the teachers, non-teachers, and the students of my college, and also thankful to all the participants. Okay, thank you.
So hereby concluding the national webinar on women education and empowerment in connection with International Women's Day celebration. We invite to join the afternoon session. We hope you will join. Thank you all.